this is the only way for you to flip the switch on women, okay? And there's no other way around it. There just isn't. Like you can learn tactics, but there's no other way around this factor. And I've been missing this factor myself too. Why? Because sometimes you get caught up in tactics. You get caught up in tactics and in techniques, but you forget about the strategy. Strategy is your overall plan, your long-term plan. What decides your fate. Tactics is what gets you through the obstacles that present to you. You see what I'm saying? But your main power comes in your strategy. And this is the most important thing when it comes to really make somebody chase, and is this: you have to, and absolutely, unwittingly, be willing to walk away. And also, you have to set a high price for yourself. Let me tell you something. I know this is like, oh my god, here we go with this bullshit. Give me 1 minute at least, okay? For example, I'm trying to find a way to put it into words. When you put a low price on yourself, that what that means is that you accept more from people. For example, let's say a girl's late on a date to you, right? She's late on a date. What happens? She says, I'm 1 hour late. Can you wait? What do? You wait. Why? Because you already are there, right? If you respect your time, right, you're gonna say no to that and actually reschedule her because she's too busy. Sometimes they're just testing you. You see what I'm saying? You think you're being compliant, but if you really notice, you're only staying because emotionally, that is the only way you're gonna be at ease. You know, you have depended on the outcome to make you emotionally at ease. So you're waiting anxiously, right? And so rather than saying no and saying let's reschedule some other time, you accept it. You let her be late without talking about your boundaries. And so you already felt the first test, right? She's already fucking with you already, right? And then when you meet her on a date, what do you do next? You try to be funny, you know, you try to be interesting. You compliment her, right? And guess what? You're really validating her, right? You think you need to compliment. You think you need to compliment. You think you need to compliment her to make you want you, but that's not the case. What you really want is not to make her want you, but to make her need your validation. That's what she wants. She wants your validation, right? And the more you push her away, right? The more validation she's gonna want from you, right? So something you gotta see is that you have to be, you have to get whenever you have an opportunity to push her away, do it. See what I'm saying? For example, if she's late on a date, you say rather than let them hanging out, let's try some other time. Right? Because you want to be the one that cancels stuff. If she's late, you don't want to reward that with more attention. You want to punish any behavior that says I'm not interested in you. The way you punish that behavior is through your absence. That's how you do it. She says she might be 30 minutes late. You say, you know what? Let's reschedule for next time. And then you wait 2 weeks to hit her up. You even wait a month, right? And then when you hit her up, you be like, hey, let's hang out, right? And because you took so long to message her from the last time you canceled, the chances of her doing that again is pretty slim. Because now she's gonna be like, the last time I canceled, it took me, he took this long to meet me. You see what I'm saying? And why are we doing this? What's the purpose of the strategy? The purpose of the strategy is to use your absence as a rod. To use the rod, right? To use your absence as punishment. That anytime you see, so absence and cancellations of plan should be used as punishment, right? So for example, if you're noticing that let me see. So that's one thing. When you're on a date with her, you give her zero validation, right? A lot of people think that you got to be more interesting, that you have to be wait too long, she'll move on. Well, this is the thing, Dave. I got that question. Like, if you wait too long, will she move on? That's not the point. This is the thing is that if somebody, let's say you do this strategy, right, and you actually lose girls because of this. Let's say you would have gained 10 girls. Let's say you lose 5, right? The thing is this, is that the 5 that wait for you are paying the price. The 5 that wait for you are paying a high price to stay with you. And because of that, because they pay a high price, they're more committed to you. And they do more things for you. You want to make people pay a high price for you. And the way you do that is you make them wait. you put more obstacles in their way. You see what I'm saying? For example, I was texting this girl and on Tinder, and she was like, and I was like, when are you available? And I text her, right? When are you available on Tinder? And then she wanted to be a smartass, and she was like, four? Like, four for what? And I'm like, this bitch. And I'm like, you know what? Never mind. And I was like, you know what? Never mind. And I unmatched her, right? That was a little bit too much, right? But you know what? I don't want to deal with that, right? I don't want any uncertainty in my life, right? So what happened next? And then she messaged me on Instagram. She was like, oh, I'm so sorry. At the risk of you getting mad again, I just want to apologize and blah, blah, blah. And why did she do that? Because she realized that I have a high price. You see? So you may lose some of them, but the ones that stay respect you. See? And that's the important thing, is that the ones that stay will respect you. You see? For example, let's say that let's say she says, you asked her to hang out tomorrow, right? And she was like, I don't know, maybe we should. And then when she says maybe we should, right? Actually, I learned this from Alpha Male Strategy. Holla at him, right? He taught me, and this fucking works, to say, she says maybe, you go with question mark, maybe? Like, quote unquote, maybe? Question mark. You know, she was like, oh, no, right? Because you're saying you're not dealing with uncertainty. And then she's like, well, I gotta let you know because I'm busy. And then you say, you know what? Never mind. Let's just do it some other time. You should say, let's just do it some other time. This is straight off from Alpha Male. This guy's legit, right? You just say, let's just do it some other time, right? And this is part of the game that guys forget when it comes to flakes. That anytime you get a maybe from a girl, just say that, quote unquote, maybe, and question mark, right? And then she says, well, you know, I might not be able to do it. She's like, you know what? Never mind. Let's just do it some other time. You know, and then 3 weeks later, you wait 2 or 3 weeks later, and then you hit her up again. Why? Because what's gonna happen is that in the weekend, she's gonna say he might hit me up, because that's what every guy does. On the weekend, hit him up, right? And, no, you're not gonna do that. You broke her expectations already, right? And then boom, the next weekend, she's going like, well, he didn't hit me up the last weekend, so I don't know, he might do that. Then you show up, you know. And if she responds, she's gonna respect your time a little bit more, you know. And that's the important thing, is that they respect your time. You know, because they usually don't respect your time because you have other options. And also because you're too available, you know? So a big thing, man, I'm telling you, man, do not compliment them. Don't validate them. Don't give them good emotions, right? Don't be interested. I'm telling you, man. And your text messages, make sure that make sure to always wait 4 to 6 hours before responding to her first text message, and then message her every 10 to 20 minutes, right? Every 10 to 20 minutes, not any less than that. Because the biggest reason why these women can't lose interest is because of neediness, man. I'm telling you. You see what I'm saying? Get that right, and the numbers you get, like when you see uncertainty, just pull this, right? Anytime you see uncertainty, back off your request and say, hey, look, let's try some other time, because you think, because you say they're busy, let's just try some other time, and then you wait through 2 or 3 weeks. It's much better than doing the, okay, let's do it again, and then you hit her up a few days later, 3 days later, and then 3 more days later, and then you're done. No. Be patient. You know what I'm saying? Control your emotions, learn to be patient with that. You know, and this is the big part, the waiting game. It's the waiting game. Make them wait. You know, and also have boundaries. You know, like if you feel like any uncertainty, you don't want to have, you know, so you don't want to deal with that. So the way you deal with uncertainty, you completely back away. You don't say this, you don't say that. No, you back away. You withdraw your offer. Hey, let's hang out. Maybe. Nah, you know what? Let's just do it next time, whenever you're not that busy. And that's, and they're gonna respect that. You know what I'm saying? They're definitely gonna respect that. Anyways, this is me from Alex from mindfulattraction.org. If you guys need one-on-one coaching, you know where to go.